So here's an example. So KM Thompson, who is, from what I looked at their bio, I think that this person is most likely a man who identifies as trans, was, none too happy with us and said, trans people are, in a word, the living proof that gender is an economic prison from which one will never be paroled. I don't know what that means. Ain't I a Woman Too, which is from Sojourner Truth. So Ain't I a Woman Too are lessons from the ballroom reds of liberal biology, proletarian feminism, and gender death from the perspective of the dialectical materialism. A response, and she or he, Dave, I'll just call him Dave. I don't, a response to me and to you and other liberals pretending to be Marxist. Well, Dave told us, Alexander. Can you make anything out of this?
Well, our friend Dave has used an awful lot of words to say nothing. I mean, look, I'm just going to go through the first sentence there. It reads as follows. Trans people are, in a word, the living proof that gender is an economic prison for which one will never be paroled. None of that means anything.
No.
So, like, there's let's go back to the central part there. Okay, so trans people are the proof that gender is an economic prison. Well, there's again, like, they routinely swap the category of sex for gender, and try and like basically conflate and confuse the two. So, is there a point in that sentence which is that which, if extrapolated properly and dug into, you could find some rational core within it? So you could, if arguing from a certain point of view, you could argue that women under capitalism, working class women, were for quite a long time, and there's an argument to be made that they still are, actually in like more of an economic prison than even the working class men sometimes, because they often have a load of caring responsibilities that men more often than not don't have. So that would be a valid argument. This isn't, though, because this is basically saying, I don't know, I kind of know what he's getting at, but the idea that like trans people are like stuck in an economic prison, well, it depends on the person, doesn't it? Like, there's plenty of rich people out there running around cosplaying as the opposite sex. Like, are they trapped in an economic prison? Is that the son of Elon Musk, who is now divorced from or something, who's presumably doing all right money wise, trapped in an economic prison? Or any of the other
Caitlyn Jenner? Martijn
how's old Bruce
Rotblat
doing?
Jennifer Pritzker. All these are AGP men, by the way, autogonophilic men who quote unquote transitioned after having long lives and or lives as men, following children and all that. Yeah, they're
Richard Levine, bloke who was like had a long career as a medical doctor and was like a father of three, and decided that he wanted to cosplay as a woman then. So like, where's the economic prison for those guys? I don't think there is one.
Dylan Mulvaney, he's cashed in on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is his ticket to the Bud Light millions. So this is,
well, he got a letter from Kamala, and he got to go on the talk show circuit. So all these trans maids could, worship him and welcome him to the girlhood.
Well, I'm surprised that he wasn't the vice presidential pick. They went with a guy instead who signed like a bill into law. Tim Walz, this is when he was governor of Minnesota, that sought to remove the prohibition on pedophilia being identified as a sexuality. That's Governor Walz's record. So I guess
and also he's big. Him and his wife are big on the trans kids thing. They're big on, like, if your kid says they're trans and you won't, and the parents won't support their medicalization and basically sterilization, that the state can get involved and remove the kid from your care because you're transphobic and trying to convert them to, conversion therapy to basically, which is a lovely way of saying to accept the fact that they're male or female. So he's lovely, and his wife is I mean, she's totally she really wants to save the quote unquote trans kids by medicalizing them too, apparently.
God preserve you us all from bored petty bourgeois liberals who want to find a cause for themselves, you know. But I mean, Dave there is a classic example of what academic Marxism has become, which is just stringing together a series of unconnected words and shoving the term dialectics in there and pretending that you're waging some kind of liberation war. Or in actual fact, Dave's just waging a liberation war inside his own head.
Yeah.
And he's winning as well. He's been liberated from